Hello there, all you visionary people, you. This is RedSpark, and we are back for our fourth video in this first-person perspective adventure game tutorial. In the last video, we implemented turning within a single scene. In this video, we will add a second scene and implement movement between them. With that in mind, let's get started. Let's add another object to contain the exit north hotspot. Next, add a hotspot for the player to click on. Since we don't want this hotspot appearing on any other exit than the north direction, we can set the object's properties so that it only displays when facing north, just like we did with the north object. Just to show a different way to duplicate functionality, let's go to turn right and copy the actions from there and paste them into the exit north object. Then we'll just adjust them. Change the enter's set cursor to use the forward cursor. And let's delete everything except for the footstep sound in the left click. Now, to change scenes, we need a second scene to change to. So let's duplicate room 1 and modify it. In fact, this is how you would most often add a new room for this type of game, so that all the direction objects and their actions are also duplicated. Rename it to room 2. As you can see, under room 2, it has its own facing value. And even when you go into something like north and check under the properties, the binding for your values is associated with room 2. So everything duplicated properly. Now, let's update all of the images for room 2. Since room 2 exits south rather than north, rename exit north object to exit south. Under the object properties, set the facing value to 3 so that the exit only appears when the player is looking south. Let's go back to room 1's exit north object. Go to the Actions tab and select the left-click action. Add an action part, choose Set Value, and link the facing variable from room 2. Set the value to 1 to represent north. This will make sure that when you change scenes, the proper image will display when we fade in. Add another action part. Choose the scene category and select Change Scene. Set the scene to room 2. You'll need to choose an object from room 2. This would normally be the position that the player character would be drawn at once the scene changes, but since our character is invisible, it doesn't really matter which one we pick. I'll choose north, but that has nothing to do with the direction we'll be facing when we enter the room. That is determined by our facing value, which we already set. Finally, let's make sure that our sound plays last, and otherwise it will get cut short when the change scene part executes. Let's test our game and see if everything is working. That's great! The exit north only appears when we are facing north, and it allows us to move from room 1 to room 2. go to room 1 and copy the parts from the left-click action of Exit North. Paste these into room 2's Exit South left-click action and make sure there are no other parts remaining. Let's modify the parts parameters so that we return to room 1 facing south. Unlike the duplicate command, our copy and paste does not update the bindings. So be aware that you need to relink your facing value, otherwise you'll be updating the room 2 rather than room 1. Let's give it a try and see what happens. Everything is working smoothly. We can move from room to room and the proper direction is maintained. To continue building your game, it will just be a matter of duplicating your next scene from an existing one and duplicating or removing your exit objects. Make certain that the facing and change scene parameters are changed as well, and you should be good to go. I hope that helps, and we'll see you in the next.